In last two videos, we spoke about the meaning of sanatan dharm and how three gunas, rajas, tamas and sattva manifest your personality, followed by the concept of chitta vritti nirodha. Upcoming video in this series will be on tantra that will shatter your previously held childish belief about Shiva, Kali and 330 million gods and goddesses in India. Meanwhile, let's talk about the concept of gods written in Vedic scriptures. In one of the most prominent Vedic scripture known as Taittiriya Upanishad, we find a chapter called Brahmanandavalli. The verses in this chapter talk about the bliss of Brahman, which is the term used for God throughout the Vedic writings. This gives rise to an obvious question: what is Brahman and how do you know it? In answer, Taittiriya Upanishad says Satyam Jnanam Anantam Brahma. Satyam means reality or existence, Jnanam means knowledge, Anantam means infinite. To understand Brahman, we need to understand what it means to begin with. When you translate Brahman from Sanskrit to English, it becomes clear that the meaning of Brahman is vast, something that expands to infinity. The word preceding Brahman in the verse is Anantam. In Sanskrit, Ant means limit and Anantam means unlimited. In other words, simply infinite. Let's explore what makes something limited or unlimited. In Taittiriya Upanishad, this is defined by three parameters: Desh, Kal, Vastu. Desh means space, Kal means time, Vastu means object. Everything in this universe is limited by space, time and object, apart from Brahman. Brahman alone is not limited by these three parameters. Now, what does it mean by limited in space, time and object? Let's explore these three parameters one by one to make it crystal clear. When we say something is limited in space, we are referring to an area restriction. For example, if you are sitting at home right now and watching this video, you cannot be found cycling in the park because you cannot be in two places at once. This makes you limited in space. Similarly, every continent, every country, every city has a map declaring its limit. If you cross that border line, you will enter into another country or city, making that territory limited in space. Here is a proposition for you to ponder over. What if you come across something that is everywhere without limit? Something that you cannot say exists in place A and it doesn't exist in place B. Such thing in Upanishad is called Sarvidhiman or omnipresent. So the first finding we get from the exploration of this verse that Brahman is omnipresent or Sarvidhiman. Next, we investigate what's being limited in time. Upanishad says existence of everything is limited to the period in between its creation and destruction. Before we were born, this body was not there. Once we die, this body will not be there. Before the creation of a car, it doesn't exist. After it's worn out and broken, it won't be there. Hereby, to be limited in time means something that exists only after its creation and before its destruction. So technically everything is subject to life and death, creation and its destruction. Just about everything in this universe is cut off in time. It's written in Bhagavad Gita, Jatasya hi dhruvo mrityu. Everything that is composed shall definitely be decomposed. Hence, creation and destruction is limited in time. But such is not the case with Brahman. Upanishad calls it Anantam Brahma. It simply means it's not limited in time. At any point, we cannot say there was a time when Brahman did not exist, or a time will come when it won't exist. Hereby, we reach a conclusion: Brahman is eternal. Neither it comes into existence in time, nor it will go out of existence in time. So far, we've explored what it means to be limited in time and limited in space. Now let's demystify third category of limit mentioned in Taittiriya Upanishad, limit in objects. This category of limit is rather convoluted and yet extremely interesting concept. Limit in object means everything is itself and nothing else. A football is not a frog, it's not a book. A football is a football. Similarly, a frog is not a lion, it's not a bird. A frog is a frog and nothing else. In today's modern world, it's known as law of identity. Your passports and other IDs are valid because there is no one identical to you. An entity X is identical to itself and different from everything else. This sums up what it means by limit in objects. Now, pause for a moment and imagine if there is something that is beyond the limit in objects. Let me put it this way. What if there is something that is not different from anything in this universe? Let's recap it once again. Limit in object means identical to itself and different from everything else. No limit in object means no entity, no object in this universe different from it. This brings us to a mind-boggling conclusion that there is nothing in this universe that is different or apart from Brahman. Nothing other than Brahman means non-dual, and this precisely is the essence of Sanatan Dharm philosophy. It's called Advaitvad, non-dual. In Sanskrit, dual is translated to Dvait, and non-dual is translated to Advait. If by definition Brahman is not limited in space, it must be omnipresent. If it's not limited in time, it must be eternal. And it has to be all-pervading if it's not limited in objects. There cannot be anything else apart from Brahman, therefore it becomes Sarvyapi, Nityam, Advaitam. At this point, you must be toying with a logical inquiry. Does really such a thing exist that is omnipresent, all-pervading and eternal? Because if it does, it must be right here, right now, and in everything you point at, proving its astonishing claim. All the faith-oriented religions around the world equivocally say God is in heavens and you can experience it only once you die. But Sanatan Dharm says you can experience God, aka Brahman, right away, right now, wherever you are and whenever you want. Taittiriya Upanishad indeed accomplishes this incredible feat by showing you God in each and everything you point your finger at. It shows you where and what the God is. Let's see how it proceeds in that remarkable direction. Hi everyone, this is Nanu. Thank you very much for watching it till the end. I hope my videos are informative and entertaining enough for you to recommend it to your friends and families. And I hope my videos are engaging enough for you to keep coming back for more.